but best of all are the land seahorses.
Yep, we call them land sea lions.
And yes,
I tamed them.
you do this by building... Hey guys, Dantix here, back with another Starfield video. Today talking planets and settling. Starfield has around 1,000 planets and moons you can land on, and they're all different, so naturally there'll be ones that stand out from the rest, especially when you're looking for materials for crafting or for outpost locations. And no, it's not just for interesting alien creatures to throw in your ranch. Hunting for all these planets takes hours, especially if you didn't invest in scanning or the exploration related skills. So in this video, I'll reduce that time. It'll go through these standout locations as well as explaining what you're looking for and why. Let's begin with the why. First though, if you want to get yourself a Constellation edition of Starfield, stay tuned until the end of the video. When exploring for perfect planets to settle, there are a few things you should be looking for. First, one that appeals to you visually. At the end of the day, this is a role-playing game, and if you want to build a main outpost, it's got to look good. Above everything else, you should find a spot you like. You can always use cargo links to bring your outpost the materials it needs, and for more on that, I highly recommend checking out my Ultimate Outpost Guide. It's on track to go over 1 million views for good reason. So what else should you be looking for? The trifecta of inorganic resources: helium-3, iron, and aluminium. Helium-3 is needed to operate inter-system cargo links, as that's the fuel it uses. Iron and aluminium are by far the most common building materials, even with crafting mods, so finding a planet that has all three will mean you can easily set up 2, or if you've done some searching around on it or get lucky, 1 outpost on the planet to send your main base the most sought after resources. Or better yet, make that planet your main. Before a few of you hit the comments up again, I realize Americans say aluminum. The way the rest of the world say it though is aluminium. Some planets and moons have far more rare resources than others. Having easy access to those is a boon we will note. Another factor is the flora and fauna on the planet. Following my outpost guide, you'll see that you can farm alien creatures and plant life. Yes, you can have alien creatures tamed at your outpost, but the main reason is they produce inorganic resources for you to harvest and use. So naturally, a good planet will have a lot of variety in interesting life forms, especially if you want to make a base. In order to have access to these creatures and plants though, you need to fully scan them 100% on the planet you're on. That includes creatures from other biomes on the planet you settled. So if you want a creature or plant that's located in the polar caps, but you settled in a forest, travel over there and scan it until you receive 100% for it. When you use the hand scanner and the flora or fauna is fully scanned, you can see if it can produce at your outpost below. Some can't. Only creatures and plants on the planet you're on can be produced. You can't produce from ones you've scanned on other planets. Finally, the last piece of housekeeping is planet stats. When scanning a planet from space, you'll see it has some information. Gravity affects your O2 levels. The higher the gravity, the more strain it puts on your body and the more O2 you use. It also affects how far you can jump, with low gravity worlds letting you essentially fly with a boost pack, so naturally lower gravity is better. Temperature indicates how much thermal protection you'll need. A temperate planet is best, where too cold or too hot planets will slowly drain your protection and start damaging you with afflictions like burns and coughs. Atmosphere. Too low or too high with O2 means you won't be able to breathe with your helmet off. You need just the right amount. And if it's based on any other gases, you'll need to keep your helmet on. The magnetosphere protects you from harmful solar radiation. A weak one will provide little protection, and without the right suit, you'll start getting sick. Finally, the water. If you go into the water and it's not of safe quality or better, you'll be damaged in some way. The stats also show the available resources as well as flora and fauna. Don't worry about traits, they're more visual than anything. For example, you might find a fungal garden on a planet and that'll be included in the traits section. So let's get to the best locations. In the Zeta Ophiuchi system is Zeta 1. It has low gravity, a temperate temperature, standard O2, safe water, and a strong magnetosphere, making for a perfect planet to live on as you won't need to worry about any environmental hazards. It has a decent range of rare resources as well. What's best though is it has 10 types of flora and 10 types of fauna across its different biomes, most of which can be added to your animal husbandry facility and join you at your outpost. Also, it has a killer pack of caterpillars. You know that thing about accepting $1 million, but there'll be a snail that slowly follows you, and if it touches you, it'll kill you? Well, you'll be living on the planet just like that, except with caterpillars. My favorite thing about this planet though is that it has the extinct dodo bird, except it's giant and a vicious predator, and yes, you can pop this bad bird in your ranch. You also have bird giraffe things as well as a lot of flora that can be put into your greenhouses. With a ton of biomes to choose from, this is a perfect planet to settle down and build a main outpost. In the Naron system is Andraphon, the moon of the planet Sumati. This moon has a lot going for it. First, it's easy to get to. It also has extremely low gravity, making getting around with your jump packs a breeze. It's relatively flat, making your outpost building more straightforward, and it's temperate. Negatives, it has no atmosphere, meaning wind power won't work and you can't walk around without a suit. It also has no life at all and no water. So why do you want to come here then? Well, it has the three most sought after inorganic resources: aluminium, iron, and helium-3. You can keep landing on different spots and exploring to see if you can make a single base which has access to all three to mine, or you can make a different outpost on the same moon to gather them all. Either way, this is a great moon for mining those resources. You may choose to build your main base here, or may choose to cargo link them off to your main. With Helium-3, you can build an inter-system cargo link and have these resources being shipped to anywhere in the game, not just the system you're in. So yes, you can build on both this moon and Zeta 1 and be shipping yourself all the basic resources you need, where Zeta 1 can fill in a lot of the blanks like water and copper. In the Charubdis system is planet Charubdis 2, I don't know. It has slightly above average gravity, it's temperate, it has high O2, a weak magnetosphere, and safe water. It has aluminium and some rare resources, so a good planet. Not perfect, but it doesn't need to be. It has 11 types of fauna, one more than the previous moon. My favorite thing about the planet though are these platypus pig things, the hippodons. They're so cute. Overall, an interesting planet and worth a look when scouting for your next home. Far to the side, at level 75, is the Fermi System. This system seems to have a lot of planets and moons with rare resources, so if you want to take over a whole system with outposts, this might be the one for you. Naturally, planets and moons with high resources don't typically have life on them, so this whole system only has 2 planets with life. Fermi 3, and it's a decent planet. The other, Fermi 7a, is a moon with only 3 primordial fauna. There's a lot of planets and moons in the system, so you won't ultimately need inter-system cargo links. I had to Google this pronunciation, but in the Gamma Vulpes system is Gamma Vulpes 1. Now, if you're like me and like desert planets, this one is for you. It has that real Star Wars or Dune feel to it. Also, there are some interesting creatures here, including the hunting hammersaw, which surprisingly isn't aggressive unless provoked. The planet has normal gravity, is temperate, high O2, safe water, but has a weak magnetosphere. It has 8 types of flora and fauna though, many of which can be farmed at your outpost. It does have frozen caps, so you could also choose to live in a frozen desert as well. Another downside is it doesn't have a large variety of resources, but when you're looking for a main outpost, you have to expect you can cargo link in what you need from other planets. Since you're already in the system, there's another planet here with life, Gamma Vulpes 2a, a moon of Gamma Vulpes 2. This moon has low gravity, is temperate, standard O2, and average magnetosphere, but it has chemical water. What's nice though is that it has commonly used inorganic resources like iron and nickel, as well as 7 fauna and 6 flora. I personally like the hunting dragons on the planet, but best of all are the land seahorses.
Yep, we call them land sea lions.
And yes,
I tame them.
you do this by building an animal husbandry facility and having the seahorse grazer 100% scanned. This is a pretty looking moon too. In the Newton system, we have the planet Newton 2. It has high gravity, is temperate, a non-O2 based atmosphere, average magnetosphere, and biological water. So it's not the best for suitless living, but it has 2 things going for it. First, it has both iron and aluminium, as well as rarer materials. It has 8 fauna and 5 flora, making it the second most self-sufficient planet I can find. You won't have helium-3, but you don't need to make inter-system cargo links, so that won't matter. The planet has hunting sunflowers, brain spider things that attack in packs, and more. It's a decent planet with a range of biomes. In the Strix system is Strix 1, a planet with high gravity, temperate environment, high O2, average magnetosphere, and safe water. Best of all, it has a lot of resources including helium-3, aluminium, and iron. It has 7 types of flora and 7 types of fauna, large for a planet with a trifecta of resources. This is a more livable planet in my opinion than Newton 2, so it edges it out as the most self-sufficient on the list. Why then is Newton 2 even on the list? Well, Newton 2 is a lot prettier. Strix isn't the most beautiful place, and its wildlife is mostly bugs and air-based filterers, though there are some gems in there if you go looking. It's a perfect planet on paper, but perfection is in the eye of the beholder. In the Leviathan system is the planet Leviathan 4. It has low gravity, temperate standard O2, a powerful magnetosphere but biological water. It has a low amount of resources but has aluminium and iron within those. It has 5 types of fauna and 4 types of flora. It's a very pretty planet with orange light peeking through the trees. Though it doesn't have a wide range of resources and life, you might find this a nice place to settle. In the Feynman system, we have the planet Feynman 4. It's a low-gravity planet with a cold temperature and thin O2. It has safe water and a powerful magnetosphere though. Best of all, it has a trifecta of helium-3, aluminium and iron, so that in itself is enough to occupy this world, but it also has a small handful of flora and fauna. This includes the horrific brain spouts and hunting brain squid, so it's not the best for animal husbandry, but it's not bad either. Could very well be your next outpost. If you're just starting out, picking a world like this is great because you only need to focus on one outpost until you get enough resources to make a main and some cargo links. In the Kumasi system is Kumasi 2. This planet has average gravity, a temperate environment, standard O2, but a very weak magnetosphere and biological water. It does, however, have some incredibly rare resources, which is nice for a main base as you want the basics to be cargo linked to you. It also has 10 types of fauna and 8 types of flora. We have mayflies in the air, giant aggressive cage brains, and even this guy. Looks aggressive, huh? Nope, it's a herbivore. Those rows of sharp teeth are just for juicy plants. Within the same system is the planet of Kumasi 1. It has very strong gravity, is temperate with high O2 and a very strong magnetosphere. It has heavy metal water however and low resources. What is great though is the 9 fauna and 4 flora, mostly because of how the fauna interact. We have dangerous twin-tails, which are like modified velociraptors that are constantly swarmed by peaceful glowbacks. On a different biome, we have hunting brain spouts. This is a pretty planet and worth a look. In the Ursa Major system, we have the final planet I want to show off, Ursa Major 2. It has very low gravity, is temperate, has standard O2 and an average magnetosphere. Just watch out for the radioactive water. It also has a decent range of rare materials and 8 fauna and 8 flora. One of the coolest ones you can farm though are these giant floating bacteria things called spore filterers. They make the cutest sounds and absolutely will not kill you or get you time off work. You can also farm these Starship Trooper-like bugs called coral crabs. They have long reach and a ranged spit attack. The savanna biome has land sharks even though you can't farm them. These things are fearsome when they pounce you. There's a large variety of biomes and pretty locations to settle on this planet. So those are my top picks for the best planet and moons. Have you found any others? Let me know your favorites below. I'm also super interested in hearing from you once you find your favorite places and have settled them yourself. I'm giving away a Constellation edition of Starfield, and to enter, all you need to do is join my Discord below and throw an emoji onto my current announcements moving forward. This will put you in the running to win, and unlike a lot of other YouTubers, I actually follow through. So best of luck. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, ciao friend.